Hey guys, Alex here with Excel in You. Today let's talk about building a foundation of creating automations using the if function. Hey guys, today let's go over our first logic-based formula. It's called if. We're also going to add two layers of nested formula. They're very simple. They use the logic and or. Let's walk through each one. Let's look at, under the bonus category, how we can use if to determine if they have completed activity 1, then they get a bonus. What we're looking for is for Excel to look at column L, decide if it says approved or declined or nothing at all, and then give us an answer. Yes, if it's approved. No, if it's anything else. Here's how we do this. We type equals if open parentheses. We'll select our first cell to look at, which is L3. We want it to be equals to, and we're looking for text here, so we need to use quotation marks, approved. If this is true, we want it to reply with the text, with the word yes. So again, we have to use quotation marks, Y-E-S. If this is false, we want this to return with no. Again, this is a word that we want it to reply with, so we need quotation marks. We close with a parentheses and hit enter. Now our formula reads, if L3 equals approved, reply yes. Otherwise, under any other circumstance, reply no. Excel will automatically update a formula if you move it to a new cell or copy it to new cells. So pay attention to this L3 right here. That tells us that we're looking at cell L3 for this condition. When I copy this formula and paste it in the cell below, you'll notice the formula now reads L4. So it's now looking at L4 instead of L3. And we can see it's still working. This was declined, so the bonus now equals no. We can do this for any number of cells. This will also move from left to right along the same row. If I copy this information and paste it in column N, you'll notice that the column indicator moved and the row indicator did not. So keep that in mind as you are moving formulas into new cells. This can be extremely helpful, but also detrimental. We will go over in other courses how to lock in your formulas to make sure that you are only moving rows or only moving columns, or you're always looking at the same cell no matter where the formula is. We'll undo this action. We're still copied, so let's paste it for the rest of our individuals. And automatically we filled in who is receiving a bonus and who is not. All declines or no answers are no. All approved are a yes. The next layer to this is called an and. We're literally going to type in the word and when we do that, we're going to create two or more conditions that both or all have to be met. And means all conditions must be true to get our true answer. If any of the conditions are false, then we'll get the false answer. So you'll notice that I went to the beginning of my formula. We still have equals, if, open parentheses. Now I'm going to insert and, open parentheses. My first condition is already here. Now I'm going to be looking at activities 2 and 3, which also use approved, declined, or blank as possible answers. So to save myself time, instead of retyping this logic right here, I'm simply going to copy it. come to the end of it, add in a new comma, and paste. And then we'll do it one more time, comma, and paste. You'll notice that I missed a quotation mark, so I went back and adjusted it. The next thing is we're going to close these parentheses, so our and is locked in. And finally, it's time to format my formula. L3 is still appropriate for my first condition, but not for my second condition. So let's double click on that cell reference, go to the correct cell reference, which is activity 2, M3. Same thing for our third condition. Double click, let's go to our appropriate cell reference, which is N3 for activity number 3. Now we have if and. That means, that sounds like this. If L3 equals approved and M3 equals approved and N3 equals approved, then yes. Otherwise, no. And again, otherwise means if any of these conditions are false, or if any other information finds itself in those cells, I'm going to get a false answer. Okay, I'm going to get a no in that answer. So I hit enter, and of course, it's a no because activity 2 and 3 were blank. Let's once again copy this down. And once again, you'll see L3, M3, and N3 are all going to move with this. The L, the M, and the N will remain static. The 3's will adjust to 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now as we look down our column, we see there's only one yes, which matches. This is the only row where all 3 activities show approved. Everything else has at least one declined or blank in it. The next element is or. Or is exactly what it sounds like. It replaces the and gives you an or option instead. To change that in my formula, all I have to do is change the word and to or. Let's go through what this reads as now. If L3 equals approved, or M3 equals approved, or N3 equals approved, then reply yes. Otherwise, reply no. So it only takes one. If any one of these activities is a yes or is approved, we're going to get a yes. Otherwise, it's a no. That means all 3 have to be blank or declined to get a no. We hit enter, and now we have a yes because we have one approved. Let's copy this down, and as we know, the formula will self-adjust. Okay, looks like we have 2 no's. We have a declined and 2 blanks, and we have a blank and 2 declined. Everything else is a yes. Everything else has at least one approved. This is a way of using logical formulas where we can test if one or more conditions are true. We can use and, we can use or, and we can use multiple variations of them. So I can put an and formula inside of an or formula. I could put an or formula inside of an and formula. That would look a little bit like this. If L11 is approved, then I add an and. Now I'm looking at M11 and N11 both have to be approved, or L11 has to be approved. Let's say that one more time. If M11 and N11 are both approved, I will get a yes. Or if L11 is approved, I will get a yes. If these conditions are not met, I get a no. So when I hit enter, it starts as a no. You'll notice a little indicator here in the top left corner. It's telling me that this formula looks different than the formulas around it, right? Let's focus on this row for just a moment. If I put approved here, I get a yes, because now L11 is approved. If this was declined and the other two were approved, I get yes again. Under any other circumstance, if this was declined, it goes back to being a no because all conditions were not met. This works the other way around as well. I could have and on the outside or in the middle. Have fun playing around with this and using this to solve a few different tricky problems on your own. Get your free one-on-one strategy session scheduled through our Skool platform in the comments below.